We are live.
We are, and we are. I am that gal with I am that guy. I am LaurieAnn, and I am with my friend,
Roy Miller, Dallas, Texas.
and I am from Milton, Ontario, Canada. So we're quite a ways away.
Yes, we are. But that's okay. Technology makes us together. So
Sure does.
So how we see it.
Yeah. So just to give a quick, I'm going to let Roy talk about this, but the poor gentleman is like one of my best friends ever because I'm kind of panicking about this COVID, but yet I'm not, but I am, but I'm not. So I'm kind of going in waves. And I'm a total opposite to Roy. So Roy, tell me, Roy, like he's looking at me right now, and if we do actually air this, yes, I did not brush my hair today, and I woke up at 12. So go forth.
Well, this is a serious event. It really is. But in my opinion, I think the media is pushing it way out of proportion. Now, but I'm concerned about it, of course. Now, it hasn't affected me like it's affecting you.
And why is that? Because Roy has a beautiful wife named Barbara, and I have my dogs. That's what I wake up to. I don't have somebody to tell me, hey, we're going to be okay, and I can cuddle you and hold you and, call you George. It's just not going to happen.
No, but I mean, it's we just got word here in Dallas that a judge he sent a court order out for everybody to stay home until April the 3rd. So I don't know if the cops are going to catch you driving down the road and pull you over and give you a ticket, or what that means. I think it's just really making it more of a legal. Hey, this is a legal thing. You're supposed to stay at home. I've only been out myself to go to the grocery store and back. That's the only time I've been out. My wife hadn't been out. She went out Saturday evening to Walgreens to get a prescription, but she hadn't been out in 4 or 5 days. So I'm the one that's been out there exposing myself to the COVID-19.
Okay, so here's a cutie too. My mother texted me on Facebook. Yes, my mother is 83 years old and she learned how to do Facebook and Messenger. And she said that her and my dad, she took my dad out. Okay, so like she's pretty tough, but dad had 3 strokes. So he's a little bit not as strong as her, although he would have been 3 years ago. Anyway, the pharmacist yelled at them, "Why did you come out here?" And I said to my mom, they have delivery. And she goes, "Oh, I don't know." So she can actually get onto Facebook and do Messenger, but she doesn't know that there's delivery from Shoppers Drug Mart. Lovely and scary at that same time. I said, good for the pharmacist. I went out to get some food 2 days ago, but I'm on my 3rd day. That's why I was joking about my hair. I'm on my 3rd day of, other than the very first morning of my day off, and I have 3 days off. I haven't left my house other than let my dogs out to go to the bathroom. And it's really quiet out there.
Well, you're speaking of delivery. So my wife goes to Walgreens to get a prescription filled. And so she's telling me when she gets back home, I said, well, how was it? She goes, well, the lady in front of me coughing. I said, oh, you gotta be kidding. She goes, no, she was coughing into her jacket, but she was still coughing, and the guy in front of her was he kept inching farther and farther away from her. So I was sitting there thinking, well, why didn't she go through the drive-through? They have a drive-through.
That's right. You in the U.S. have drive-throughs for your pharmacies.
Go through the drive-through pharmacy. But anyway, I don't know. But so Barbara said by the time she got up to the counter, the gal said, you want some hand sanitizer? So she gave her some hand sanitizer. So they did all their transactions. And so she got her stuff. So the lady says, here, you want to do, she goes, yeah, she got some more hand sanitizer before she left, So she came home. She was telling me, I said, well, go wash your hands.
But you see, you have somebody coming home to you. So I'll have my really, I mean, you were asking me earlier, like, how is your mental state? And that's a fair thing. I mean, am I bipolar? No, absolutely not. Um, I do have anxieties though. It's a down from my parents had it. And weird thing is, I didn't even know, I knew my mother had a depression when her father and her mother died within a short period of time. And my mom was quite young. And what they call depression then is called anxiety today.
Mhm.
It's a mental state. But what I found out only a couple of years ago, not too long ago, that my dad told me that he actually, and I hope my internet is a little bit unstable, so I hope that we just don't lose this too much. But he told me that he suffered from anxiety. And I went, Dad, being the guy that's in business, it would have been really nice to know that. Because I always felt like, oh, I've got the mummy disease. But it's a male disease too, and it's not a disease. I'm sorry. It's a mental state. It's something. But it would have been really nice to know my dad suffered from it too, because it would have made me feel a lot stronger as a person, saying that men suffer from it too.
But you have to realize, you think about our parents, that generation, they didn't talk about that stuff.
That's right. And there's the, opposites there. So the women will actually speak to it, but the men will have it and not say a word. Whereas my son was telling me, I said, I overthink things and I get anxiety. And he said, thanks a lot, Mom. And he was actually open and honest with me. I think the younger generation is more open to admitting it. But then you think about how did we all get through it? I mean, I lived in Turkey where the Russians were bombing Americans. I mean, we had a lockdown, 8 o'clock at night, no one out, lights off, don't go there. We're not, I know this is a pandemic, but it's not like the first time that there's a kind of war going out there. But we're all freaking out about it because a bigger time now is there's more media. As far as I'm concerned, is causing more of the stress on people.
Well, plus, we've never experienced anything like this in our
No.
lifetime either. So it's kind of like that fear of the unknown, because
Yeah.
you haven't been through anything like this, so you don't know what to expect. So you're looking at the worst, the worst things.
But when I was living in Turkey, when I was like 7 years old, and there were, the Russians bombing Americans, I had never experienced that either. My parents hadn't either. Um, and I had a dream that was really interesting. I'm going, here's another war happening. And everybody wants to shut that war off because we're so tired of wars. I thought that was a really kind of neat dream. Let's shut the war off. But media does the same with wars, and the same with conspiracies, and the same with all of that. And I don't want to get into it, but I have to get my mindset to say, LaurieAnn, don't let your mind and your anxieties move with. I don't want to move with the media. I want to move it into, and what I said to somebody the other day, and I should keep it to myself, the same thing in my mind, there is a balance. So we know not to go too crazy, go out there and shop and buy too much. We know not to be around too many people, but there's always a balance. But we're not, as humans, we don't work with balance too well.
Well, you brought up something about war, and it makes me think. Now, President Trump is trying to stop the wars. He's trying to get America out of foreign countries and stop the war. But I was thinking about that, and there's been the U.S. since the early, so around 1959 or 60, Vietnam. I mean, that we've been at war pretty much my whole life.
Yep.
Some kind of war somewhere,
Mm.
and it's like it's normal. You don't think anything about it. Now, if you have a son or daughter in the military, you think a lot about it. But during Vietnam, I was fortunate. I didn't have to go to Vietnam. I served my time in the lottery for the draft. I didn't get picked. so I didn't go. But, you know, a lot of people did.
And if you even experienced as a child, which I did, martial law,
Mhm.
and we know that you walk out there and we see young people holding guns. I mean, that was way long ago. Obviously, I'm 57, so it was like 50 years ago. But I experienced that. As a Canadian, I can tell you most of my friends haven't. And
Mhm.
it was scary. So I think some of my anxiety might be from the thoughts that I remember how I felt as a kid. And I kept thinking, Daddy, just take us home to Canada. I want to get out of here. But now Canada is not cut off from that. Whereas in all fairness, there's a lot of the things that the US and Canada have been cut off from, even if we've not been 100%, but it's not in our own backyard.
Exactly.
Now it's in our backyard.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what's scary.
Yes. Because I can remember back in the 90s, we went to Cancun, and we took a day trip down to Chichen Itza. And it was funny because we're on this bus, and every I guess different state down there, we would pull up. There would be a military vehicles on both sides, soldiers on both sides. The bus would pull up. The guy would get out, talk to the people, you know, the soldiers, and then sometimes they would come in the bus and look around. Then we'd go on. The next time we got stopped, and that was strange because we've never had that, you know, here. And then
Right.
we went to Jamaica, and we took a trip excursion there, and this was so weird to me. So we're in this little market. This little market, it's kind of like going to the mountain markets in Mexico. It's all these little vendors. They all have the same thing, but it was in Jamaica. So I told my wife, I said, look, I don't want to go through this, you know. So she went in, she got through, said, hey, there's a Burger King right there here. Let's just go get a Coke or something. So we're walking down the street, and here's these soldiers with guns,
Mm.
you know, which is strange, you know, because we
Yep.
just don't have that. So we go to this Burger King. This is the middle of the day. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a weekday. Go up there, the door is locked. So the security guard from inside comes, he opens the door, he lets us in, he locks the door, he escorts us to the counter. We ordered a couple of Cokes, and then he escorted us to the door, unlocked it, let us out, and locked it back. And I mean, that was just weird. I mean,
Okay, so where's what weird there? I have a security guard when I went into the bank the other day because somebody tried to put, I was telling you, $4,600 of tires on my credit card. And gosh knows at this time in life, why would they want that? You'd think $4,600 of toilet paper, or I don't know. But when I went in to get it all fixed and pick up my new credit card, yeah, security unlocked, let me in, locked up again. This is in Canada. This is Milton, Ontario, and we're having this. And they're starting to do that in the grocery stores. It's just, where's the balance? I mean, I get it. The banks I can get because, you know, people can go totally stupid if they're really panicking because money is the first thing. You know, my sister and I were talking about that. Like, how much debt are we going to get into if my company goes in lockdown? I have to live off of my line of credit. We're going to get some money from the government, but it's not going to be really the same amount as you make being out there, you know, with business. And my company may not even be there when we're ready to go back again if it has to close down. They might close down. Odds are not my company because they're doing really well and they're very smart, but I don't know.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't know. And that's the uncertainty is what makes me want to stay in bed, get my hair all stupid, and wake up and go, I don't care if I brush it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
I don't
mean,
want to hear about it.
yeah, it's the
I mean, I
fear of
have to deal with it, but I don't want to.
it's the fear of the unknown. We don't know what to
Yeah.
expect. We've never been through this.
No.
So you don't know what's going to happen. So your normal reaction is to think about the worst thing that can happen.
Yep.
You know, you lose your job. How are you going to pay your mortgage? How are you going to, you know, pay your car payments? You know, how are you going to take care of your kids? I mean, you know, just on and on and on.
Now, here's the interesting thing, though, that we talked about, my sister and I, which was just absolutely lovely and beautiful. is I rent a place, my baby sister rents a place, and my other sister, my older sister Janet, she owns her own home. And I said, you know what, worst case scenario, and mom and dad own their own home too. We just all come together in one big family and do what so many communities have done so for so many years. I am super lucky because I do have my parents and my two sisters there that we can count on each other. We're going to try not to because we're stubborn idiots, right? We want our own space. We want our own place. We want to do our own thing. I don't want to live with my sister who might cause me grief or drive me nuts or whatever. But in the end of it, I'm very blessed that I do have that. And I know that that should stop me from wanting to sleep in until noon. And like I said, not even sleeping, just lying in bed. Because I just don't want to get out there to this world that's causing me grief. I mean, we already went through a couple of things, as you know, in my life already to start with at the beginning of this year. And this just toppled on top of it.
Yeah.
But it's like you with Barbara. You have Barbara. You've got your family. We can come together if we need to. There's a lot of people out there who can't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like for us, I mean, we're retired, so our kids are grown. We've got grandkids, and so it's not like we've got kids at home, mortgage, payments and all that stuff. So it's a little different, but there are people, even though they're retired, this could be a big deal for them, big deal,
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think any of us are out of the woods yet. I do honestly believe that this thing is going to pass. And
so what's your idea? So here we talk about, what do you feel like? At first I thought, oh, give it about 6 weeks, but it's gone past that. What are your feelings about it, just for fun?
well, I mean, I honestly, I didn't think it'd last maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks at tops. Now, I think it's probably gonna go into maybe May. It could go longer. I mean, I here in the U.S., they've pretty much found what they think is a cure for this, and they've got the FDA, which is the Federal Drug Administration, to push it through with all these myriads of testing for years and years, and they found a vaccine that is made for malaria, but they've tested it.
Heard that.
They've tested it, and in 6 days it'll cure people from the COVID-19. So I think there is a solution out there.
I do too.
It's going to be, it may be a little slow coming because it's so much so fast, but I think if everybody tries to remain calm and not too crazy, tries to stay at home,
and do what I do. Just stay in your bed until 12 if you have to, and don't care about your messy hair.
Whatever it takes, and then it doesn't keep getting geometrically spread.
Yeah.
Then I think it's gonna pass. But that being said, I think this is a huge learning curve for what could happen in the future.
Yeah.
So once we get past this, then I think there will be preparations made for something like this happening again, based on the experience that went on in this little small crisis. And
they do have that. I don't know why Netflix did that, but they put Contagious on Netflix, and more people are watching that than anything else. And I'm going, seriously, you want to watch that right now?
Yeah. I remember seeing that a long time ago, and I thought that was pretty spooky back then. But you think, oh my gosh, that's really bad. Oh wow, what if something like that happened? But I've never thought.
You don't think it's really going to happen, and then it does. Just like, you think about the other things, like 1984 and the stories that come out of that, and then people think that they're psychic. No, because any story can happen in life. It's going to happen at some point in time. I do find that it was really sweet because I had a couple of people at work who came in as customers telling me it is the end of the earth as we know it. And I just kept saying, I have a faith and I don't believe that God is right there yet, but I do love the posts that are saying, but he is really angry at us. So he actually told us to go to our rooms.
Yeah, and I personally,
Just take
I,
time out, guys.
I personally believe that we are in the end times. I think we're in the end times of our deal. But is it like next week or next month? No, but I think we're starting in those stages. But the one thing about this, and in my opinion, I just believe that once we get past this, at least here in the U.S., I think it's going to be a brand new country. And it's going to be better than we've had it in a long time. And
I like that.
And we have it pretty good in the U.S. I mean,
you do. You really do.
Is it perfect? No. Do we have problems? Yes. But if I had to pick where I was going to, being an American for me is plenty good.
And I'll say that about being Canadian too.
Yeah.
Seriously, I still, like I said, I remember when I was in Turkey, I was praying to God, please get me back home to Canada. And I mean, God, when you talk about, like I said, we're not being faith oriented here, but I had my little, daddy up there that said, please get me home safe. Because it was scary. I mean, when you hear about the bombings, you hear about the submarines that are going through the Bosphorus underneath. So I understand the fear. But at this date and time, I mean, people are still walking around. People are still interacting. This almost is eerie when you go out and there's hardly any cars on the road. You're going, whoa, this is a movie that I didn't watch, thank God, because if I did, I'd probably be even worse. I probably wouldn't get up till 6 o'clock instead of noon.
Do you know who the comedian Kathleen Madigan is?
I have heard, but I have not seen her.
Okay. Well, she does think about Canada, and she says, yeah, Canada, there's kind of like that, kind of like the United States attic. They're kind of up there. Every once in a while you go up there and kind of look around.
Okay, I have to laugh about this because there is How I Met Your Mom. The one lady on there is Canadian, and they made so many Canadian jokes. And on Friends, they made so many Canadian jokes because Chandler actually is Canadian. His father was Keith Morrison, which is funny because that's the name of my ex-husband. And we are always made fun of. But, and I don't mind it. But, I can go back at you guys because I lived in the States and I don't say roof.
It's roof.
No, they say roof. In Reno, they said roof, like Dougie. Woof, woof, roof.
Well, I mean.
We say roof.
Hey,
regardless of that, we've been incredibly great neighbors. I think that our strengths, both of our country's strengths, have allowed us to be as strong as we are and not be in positions that I look at and I'm going, you know what, if you look at Israel, you look at the Eastern community and stuff, and like I said, Turkey and all those places, we didn't live that.
Yeah.
And we're very lucky. So, thank you actually, Roy, for talking to me tonight, because I'm feeling a lot better, because I'm thinking, you know what? Even at this point in time, we're still better off, because if you look at it, Europe is having a harder time than we are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, you do realize we're talking about the U.S. and Canada. Now, there is the United States, and then there's the United States of Texas. Okay, so it means. Hang on just a second. Hey, Liam.
Hi, Granddad.
How you doing?
Hey, there's Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Don't even look at me.
Hey,
no.
Talk about bad hair day.
Oh, no. It's not nearly as bad as mine. Trust me.
Hey, Connor. Hey. Hey, how you doing? Hey. What are you doing?
Is that your grandson?
Yeah, hey, Connor. That's Connor, the redheaded one. Liam's the.
Okay, you're going to have to put it up towards your camera.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, they're adorable.
Yeah, they sure are. Okay, let me.
Yeah, it's kind of neat because I can see them come in and out of this. It's so
Yeah.
cute. Barbara kind of pops in and out too. That's really neat.
Yeah, she did her hair, but she just washed it and she just let it fly. So
I do that some days too because my hair is actually curly if I don't straighten it. Yeah, that's a woman thing. But I really, literally, I'm here and I don't care. There's worse things to worry about right now. But no, it's true. Then there's Texas. We know this very much so.
yes, yes.
And then there's but wait, in Canada there is LaurieAnn's world. You know, I am that gal. It's my little place, and
Hey,
I'm bigger. I'm bigger than Texas. Okay.
hey, I'll say this: we've been to Vancouver, and we've been to Victoria. Love both of them. Great. Then we came a couple of years ago. We came to Ontario.
Yeah.
We went to Niagara Falls. We came across Niagara on the Lakes, St. Catharines. We stayed at St. Catharines. We went to
Not the best place in the world, but
well, we didn't know, but we went to
oh
Hamilton.
my gosh, I shouldn't say that. I might have friends there, but
we went to Hamilton. Then we went to a little. We dabbled into Toronto a little bit. So yeah, but I'll say
but you're
this.
coming back.
Yes.
You're going to be coming to see me. You and
Yes,
Barbara
we
are
will.
coming to visit me, and I will take you through Toronto because by September, this will be over.
Yes, yes. But I'll say this: Canada is extremely clean.
Yes.
They've got beautiful, beautiful parks. They got flowers everywhere. People were extremely friendly, and I was surprised. The parks are full of people during the middle of the day. Every park you went by, tons of people there. They had recycles everywhere. You know,
So that's why I think it's a little bit spooky right now because it's exactly what you're saying. On a sunny day, Canadians get out. We need our vitamin D from the sun. And it's been really eerie not seeing as many people out as we usually see on 3 beautiful days. I self-isolated, but I do have my little porch that I can sit outside with my dogs. Nobody's there. I'm lucky because not everyone's got that, and I'm looking over a lake. But yeah, it's it'll be back that way again. I'm thinking, me personally, I'm thinking that by the time everything kind of blows over, it's going to be August.
Possibly, probably.
I know I'm a little bit longer version of it, but I really do because it escalated in the last couple of weeks to stupid. And I'm not saying stupid in the sense that I don't agree that there's something here, but it did escalate stupid in the last 2 weeks that it's going to cause it to push off a little bit further. I think we're going to be looking at, you're right, probably, May, but it's going to take till August for it to smooth out.
Turn around.
Yeah. But that's okay because you're coming in September. By then, you're going to be fine.
Hey, something interesting also about Canada. When we were up there, we checked in the hotel. I gave the guy my credit card, and he goes, "You're from the U.S." I go, "Well, yeah." How would you know that? He said, "By your credit card." I said, "Well, he said, no, the thickness of your credit card's thicker than ours." I said, "What? I thought they were all the same." He goes, "No." So he pulls his credit card out and he says, "Look," and he was right. Ours was thicker than the ones in Canada. I didn't know that. I thought all credit cards were the same.
Now there's something I didn't even know. So now I know.
Yeah, I just thought that was strange. He goes, "Oh, you're from the U.S." Oh, yeah. I mean, now if he'd have said, "You're from the South" or "You're from Texas," I would have probably said, "I don't really have
your accent."
I said, "I don't really have an accent." People in the South.
You do.
People in the South don't have accents. The people in the North are the ones that have accents.
Well, I actually kind of laugh because I loved when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actress. So I used to know that, if I'm going to go to the United States, I'm going to have to learn how to speak a certain way. And then, of course, if you're going to British, you got to speak British. You got to speak properly. And then, the Irish and the Scottish and all that and a bag of chips.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
In the South,
it's all English.
In the South, we don't have an accent. We have Southern charm.
Okay,
Just so you know.
speaking of Southern Charm, before we end this, I am super, super upset. I do follow Dolly Parton on my Instagram. And first thing this morning, the first thing I looked at, noon, because it was 12 o'clock, or was yesterday, I don't know. Yeah, it was yesterday. She told us our dear, beautiful singer, Kenny Rogers, passed away.
Yep.
I have to say that I'm a country girl, and I listened to it most when I was a kid. My parents played their music and I didn't like it. And then one year I had a son who was like so colicky that all I did was watch country music, and I fell in love with it. And Kenny Rogers just was absolutely phenomenal. I didn't even realize he was 81. Truth be known, I thought he was younger than that. And no, not because of his facelift.
Okay. But I can remember when Kenny Rogers was in a rock band.
Really?
Yes, he started out in rock.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And he and Dolly Parton were so close. Like, what
Yeah.
a beautiful lady she is too. Like,
Now, it was back
and they have that from the South. And I really wish I would have actually ended up at Nashville when my dad had an opportunity.
Well,
Nope.
Kenny Rogers, the song, he had a song that came out in the 60s, but it was called "What Condition My Condition Was In." I love that song. As a matter of fact, I've got it on my iPhone. That's when
Really?
that was in his rock. Yeah, look it up. What Condition My Condition Was In. And that was his back when he was in the rock. And then all of a sudden he went country. Everybody's like, "What the heck?"
Funny.
I think his group was Kenny Rogers and the New Edition or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. But that song, I have that song on my iPhone.
Well, I have to say he was really smart because he made it really big in the countryside of things. It's just like little, what is our Canadian little guy here? Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
He's gone country.
He just needs to go, period.
You know what's funny? My youngest son adored him before he got really popular. He actually caught on to him before his popularity. He goes, everyone's calling him a fag, but I think he's really great and he's going to make it. And he did. Mm-hmm. And that's a bad word because people were calling him that. It was really bad. But my son stood by him, and he was right. He actually picked up the guy that this was going to be a popular guy. And, you know, he's trying to get his life back together. We all have to give that. If you actually look at one of my favorite actresses, if I could remember her name now, on Charlie's Angels.
Kate, Cheryl
I'm
Teague.
blanking out. Oh, no. I love her.
Cheryl Teagues.
Nope.
Farrah Fawcett.
Nope. The new Charlie's Angels. I watch her on Instagram all the time.
Oh.
Gosh. Charlie's Angels. Come on. She was the very first person that she was on the fire. She played at 4 years old in a movie. It was a spooky movie. Firestarter.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, how can I blank out with her? I just love her.
Drew Barrymore? No?
Yes, thank you.
Drew Barrymore? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And she went through all of this too.
Oh, yeah. She had some bad times in young.
And she pulled herself through. So I'm looking at Justin. I'm going, Justin, if you can be like her, good for it. Go for it. You can pull out of a really, you know, children who were starting young in this sort of stuff. It's not easy for them. You got the fame. You got the, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
If they don't have the best background, it's harder too.
Too much, too soon.
But yeah, I love Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, but there are a lot.
Anyway, that's going off topic, but there are. Yeah, there are a lot. So we like to see them. So if Justin Bieber can come back again, God bless him. If it's through the country world, I'll take it. We're all good. You know, we all have our moments. But I mean, so that thank you for being there for me, because I know last night I just kept thinking, do I really want to wake up tomorrow morning? And no, it was not in a bad way, but I'm just so tired and literally not want to wake up. I just want to sleep. I want to sleep, 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 sleep. But I got up. And part of the reason I get up is because of people like you, my friends. You know, you and Charles was there for me too, and they're saying you're okay. I'm okay. I just want it to end.
Yeah, everybody does. I mean, this is just nobody's ever went through this, so everybody has anxiety about what can happen. What about this? What about this? What about this?
And that's why we're making a lot of jokes about it too, right? The toilet paper thing's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And again, too, I'm watching a movie. You know, I'm trying to find a funny movie. So I'm watching it, and I think it was called, oh my gosh, doesn't really matter. Then all of a sudden, he's called the toilet paper boy in the movie. And then they're out at a bar and they're drinking Corona. And all I can think about is, are you kidding me? I'm trying to forget about this. I don't need the toilet paper. I don't need the Corona. It's called Definitely Maybe. It is a really great movie, but seriously, I could not believe how many things you can associate to this thing now.
What's going on today?
And apparently the Simpsons all knew about this a long time ago.
That's an older movie too, isn't it?
It is 2008.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying I think that was a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, I posted on my Facebook. If you want to look, I took a picture of my TV, and I'm going, there he is with his toilet paper, Scott's, and he's called the toilet paper boy. And what I didn't get though was the picture of them drinking Corona. But I sat there later on in the movie. I'm going, seriously, this is 2008.
That's funny.
I'm thinking about this silly stuff now. But it made me laugh, and I needed that. And I have to say, entertainment, thank you very much for that, because it does keep you, like, if you get too stressed about anything, get your Netflix, make sure you find a funny movie. Don't watch Contagious.
Yeah.
Watch something funny.
Well, here in the U.S., they're airing Christmas movies. Hallmark is airing Christmas movies. So.
Because what? We may not make it?
No, just to try to cheer people up, because those movies usually, people feel good about Christmas, so they started doing the Christmas movies. I think 3 days a week or something like they're doing Christmas movies. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And all those cotton picking movies are filmed in Canada.
I know.
All Hallmark movies. Yeah.
Well, Toronto's the second Hollywood. You know that.
Oh, is it?
And then you have Bollywood. There's the other one that's really big.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Bollywood is a Hollywood, but it's with and they're really good. Like, I mean, seriously, they've got dancing in it. I love those movies. So actually watch them. They're kind of part Indian, part English, so they talk both languages, but they've got really good acting in there and really good art, like dancing and everything.
Yeah,
who would know? Bollywood.
There's one we watch because it involves soccer, and because we're big soccer fans, but it's called Bend It Like Beckham. And it's a good movie. It's a real good movie.
What's it called?
Bend It Like Beckham.
All right. I won't tell my girlfriend who is married to a guy who looked like Beckham.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's good.
Because he kind of, he looked like Beckham.
Really?
Yeah. Henceforth, the women liked him. Henceforth, they're not together anymore.
Yeah, that happens.
All good. All right. So thank you for tonight. This is really good.
Okay.
We need to reach out to each other if you have that anxiety. And I want to thank you, Roy, because you're there for me. I want to thank Charles too.
Yeah.
You two have been super awesome. And I don't want to be scared when I say I don't want to wake up tomorrow. I really mean I don't want to wake up tomorrow. I just want to stay in bed. And it wasn't meant in any sense. I am not suicidal. I'm not that way. But I literally would prefer to lie in my bed, turn on my TV, turn off my TV, turn on my music, turn off my music, and just be in that little secluded space right now where I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I get myself out of the comfort zone with you guys, which is really important.
Good.
Get out, get doing something, even if it's this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for everybody that's listening, that's how we see it.
And that's how we see it. And I am that gal, LaurieAnn from Milton, Ontario, and my friend.
I am Roy Miller from Dallas, Texas.
And he is, I am that guy.
I am that guy. Yes, I am.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.